Hi everyone, this is Anil. Welcome to part 2 video of create robust transform app. In this video we will update the robust transform which we created in the previous video to have a logic where we will push data into three different targets: computer, network and server based on type field. So this is the input spreadsheet where there is a new column that I have added called type. If the type is server, we will go into server table. If type is computer, it will go into computer table. And similarly, if type is network, the data will be pushed to network table. So we'll find the transform map which is created in the previous video. So I go to data sources. I go to the data source, and here I have this transformer. I go to the definition, and if you see here in the entities in my import set entity, I have to add this new entity field called type, which is coming from the source table with the column as u_type. Now I go back to the staging table, and I have added there as well. So in the staging table, if you see, there is a new column called type which is added, but here there is no underscore. So just and then we don't need that field in computer table, so I'm not adding it there. Now coming to the entity mappings, I create a new mapping. First I will say stage to computer. Source entity is going to be staging, target is going to be computer, and I want to make it conditional, so I'll write the script here where just copy the whole thing. See here, so now we have access to input variable, so I'll say input dot staging dot type is equal to computer, and return true, else return false. Now I format this. I just format the script. If you see that input.staging.type is how I'm accessing the variable. Now if you go to staging as source entity, you'll observe that the path is called staging, which is nothing but what I have used here. And again, if you go to source entity called staging and open it, you'll see that the name of the variable is type. So here the field is type, and that is what I have used in the conditional script. So now let's save it, and then I will also create field mapping where the source field is going to be name, target field is going to be name, and so on. So once I do that, when I run the transformation, I will see a new record on the computer table. So first check if there is already an existing record with name computer 1. Okay, it's not there. So this is the record which I'm expecting to get created. I don't see it already. So then now I will run the transform again. So I go to input set, and input set, reprocess, transform. So come back here, refresh it. I should see a new record called computer 1. So this is how I'm able to create record in computer table. So similarly, we'll do it for server and network also. As part of next step, we will update the mappings for other two tables, which is server and network. To do that, we'll go to data sources, look for the data source. We'll go to the definition of the transformer, and here we will add two more entities. One of them is server, and the table would be cd underscore c underscore server, path and call the server, and one more. Context network, c underscore c underscore that gear table, path as that gear, submit. Then we have to do the mappings, so let's do that. Fix the name. So we will do entity fields here. So let's use name, submit, and same thing here, name, and submit. Now once we're done with this, we will go back and create. So we have to go back to the definition and add two mappings. I call it as stage to server, and source will be stage, and target is going to be server. You can keep the order as 200 or more, just at 300, and conditional, they will say if input and input dot staging dot type is equal to server, true, level equals, okay, save it. And we also have to create the mappings. So go to field mappings, source field is name, target field is name, submit it. We can test the speeds and then we can expand the network mappings. So before I test, I'll quickly check the server table. So we underscore server, and I'll check if there's a record with name server in it. So this is the name of the record. So I copy this, paste it here. There are no records. So after transformation, I should see a record. Let's go to import sets. Go to the import set. Reprocess, transform, go to servers, and there's a new record here. Now let's complete the mapping for network. Let's go here, come back to the ETL definition, make a new entity mapping. We'll call it as state to network. Staging netgear, we can give it at 300, same level as server, and go to stage to network, and I will create a new mapping. Say source field is equal to name, target is equal to name, and submit it. Go back to definition. I could make it as 200 just to keep it in sync. So first we'll bring it to staging table, then from staging to computer, staging to network, staging to server. So let's keep all of them as 200. And before we load into network gear, we will verify table. So pursue this coordinate here, and we look for the presence of a record here. This is the name, so I should not see a record already there. So if I search here, there's nothing here. So now I reprocess, and I should see a record coming up. Again, go to import sets, open import sets, go to 12, and then we'll reprocess. Transform, come to network. There's a new record here, coordinate network. So that completes the mapping, right? So let's do a quick recap. So what we have done in part 2 is we have updated the transformer which we created in part 1 to include a logic based on which we are pushing data into targets 2 and 3, which is network and server. The field that we are using is called type. So if you see here, this type is what drives that logic. Now we'll recap on what configuration was done. So in the ETL definition, we have in the import set table first, we have added a new column mapping called type to bring the type into the scope of this ETL. So this is the first thing we have done. The next thing we did was in staging, we have added a new column called type, again to have type column in staging table. Then we have updated the mappings between source to stage to push type value here. So this is being pushed here. Once that is done, then we have added additional entities for network, air, server, and computer. So network, air, and server, and in the mappings we have updated the conditional script, as you can see here, so that if type is equal to staging, input.staging.type is equal to network, then the condition is met, otherwise condition is not met, and then we are pushing the records. So that's how we are leveraging the conditional option. The same is done for stage to computer, server, stage to computer, as you can see here, staging.type, and the staging is coming from this path here. So yeah, that is the setup which is done to logically push records into the right table based on an attribute in the input data source. Thank you for watching. This is Anil.